Let's Get Down to Business is presented by Bravo, the marketing arm of Ash Brokerage Corporation, the practice enhancement company. All this week, it's video consumer marketing. And on today's show, how to prospect using Business Killer's video series. And with me today is co-creator of Selling Technologies, Jerry Minardi. Hi everyone, I'm Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and contributing author to Backroom Technician. Let's get down to business. Well, welcome to day 2, Jerry.
Thank you, Steve.
Now, yesterday we did this whole series on family matters, and it's really a huge series.
Yeah.
This is now called Business Killers. And when I first heard you use this term, I thought, this doesn't sound very business-like, business killers. But really what you wanted to do is, it sounded like to me, you wanted to kind of shock and awe the advisor to say, these are the things that kill deals. And you wanted to bring this forefront and how this series, and we're going to see some of these clips today, this series is packed with obstacles, and I mean challenges, things that kill businesses every day.
Yeah, so Business Killers was initially the title of the program because as business owners and not as producers, it's a non-starter if you approach us, the business owner, with 6 ways to save your business and retire healthy. It's a non-starter. So at least Business Killers would cause a business owner to pause and say, well, wait a sec, what's this? And when you see so many deals that are being either killed because of complexity or because you can't get the prospect to move to action, there has to be a way to make the complex simple, and especially for a business owner because they have no time. They have no time. So the approach to the business owner in our mind is, here's an issue, not a product, not a solution, an issue. Does this look like you? Does this look like a place you don't want to find yourself? And that, again, causes the business owner to stop their internal dialogue and focus for that 90 seconds or that 2 minutes.
Now, you've said this many times. I've heard you speak many times. You said, hey, it's not about product. This is hard for advisors to make this move. I mean, from we're so product driven, or maybe even on the first meeting, we're talking about collecting data. Right. You say no.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. That conversation is non-differentiated. If you're not having a differentiated conversation, you're not being heard. So, again, our conundrum with the industry was when, folks from the business would come in to approach us as business owners, we couldn't tell the difference because they all said the same thing. They all did the same thing. So on the doorstep of 2014, for advisors to find it difficult to not talk about product is insane because it makes them transactional. And you don't want to be a transactional person in this business now.
Okay, so when I'm having my first contact interview, and I don't want to do these things that you've said, I'm not talking about product, I'm not doing a data collector. I'm showing a video. We're going to show one here in a second. I wanted to ask you though, how do I begin then? How do I introduce an idea like Business Killers? Why do I want to show this guy a video? I know why he wants to, but how do you tell the client, why do I want to show you this video?
I saw this video and I immediately thought of you. I thought it would be of interest to you, and I'd like you to just take 90 seconds and take a look at it and give me some feedback.
I like the idea of being able to say identify, and you'd be so surprised how many people identify. I mean, it's not 20%, it's not 30%. A vast majority of people, we're all human, we have the same behavioral traits. They look at these videos and they go, that's me. I love that. Now, this first video clip that we're going to look at, it's called You Can't Beat Uncle Sam. Give me a little 30-second rendition and we'll get to it.
Well, I mean, any business owner in this economic climate that believes that the economy and the government is their friend is not really in business. So business owners hearing the statement, you can't beat Uncle Sam, immediately relate to that. They want to understand, what am I going to see next?
Well, let's watch the clip, You Can't Beat Uncle Sam.
Thank you, Rob. I really appreciate your time.
Okay, now that legal and accounting are out of the way, and before Jake shows up, here are my thoughts, and I'm willing to bet Jake would agree with me. All right. Over the past year, you've successfully integrated Cypress Telemarketing into your company. Now, we're moving ahead with establishing the new legal entity for the expanded organization, but because of the profit that ended up in your corporation, Even with your deferred comp and the profit sharing plan, we have a serious tax liability we can't avoid.
I know, and this is really working on my nerves. I mean, what's the point of growing this business if all I do is give more and more money to the government? This is a disincentive. I'm tired of sending my hard-earned cash to Washington.
Look, Tony, profitability's up. The company is enjoying a sustained growth cycle, healthy expansion, and you, my friend, are a year away from 63. If you think the tax bill you paid this year was uncomfortable, wait until you exit the business. And frankly, that tax bill will come at the wrong time in your life.
Quit trying to cheer me up.
A written exit plan for the business is no joke. And since you're upset with the current tax scenario, we need time to build a plan so you successfully exit this business with your wealth intact. It doesn't mean you're walking out the door tomorrow. It's about leaving when you want to. If you're gagging on this year's tax, you would choke to death if you had to sell the company today.
When we come back from the break, Jerry's going to introduce us to another Business Killers video clip entitled, I Know What My Business Is Worth. Boy, there's a thought. And if you want to test drive Selling Technology System Amanda, just go out to amandaportal.com and click on the Sign Me Up button. We'll be right back, right after the break. Back in the day, life insurance professionals were called field underwriters. Then, carriers trained their field force in the basics of life insurance underwriting. Today, the insurance industry doesn't educate the agent population as they once did. But now you can have the Informed Risk Guide at your fingertips so you can illustrate a reasonable rate class for your life insurance prospects. Just request your copy of the Informed Risk Guide at downtobusiness.ashbrokerage.com. It's free from Ash Brokerage, the practice enhancement company. Well, welcome back, everyone. I'm Steve Savant with Jerry Minardi. And remember, you can watch all our past videos of Let's Get Down to Business, including my weekly consumer show, Steve Savant's Money, the name of the game, right out at ashbrokerage.com. Just click on the show logo right on the homepage. And just a heads up, before moving forward with any of the ideas you ever hear on our show, always consult your tax advisor or legal counsel, as well as your broker-dealer compliance department. And again, remember, I want to say to everyone that what we're looking at with Selling Technologies, many BDs have cleared this. So, I mean, it's really, I just want to keep reinforcing that because a lot of our producers are securities licensed. They're going, hey, is this cleared? That video we just watched, that was okay? And many BDs are okay with that. Now, I want to talk to you about this second part. We're still on Business Killers. There's so many. We only have time for two, one for each segment. But I want to know, when you're thinking about this, I'm thinking my clients, business clients, actually believe they know what their business is worth.
Yeah, and the majority, I think this statistically, it's like 86% of the time, they're totally wrong, either to the high or low side. So
business valuation is a tough thing, and having people look at their baby, because remember, a lot of this is created by dad or mom, and that's been in the family for maybe one, maybe even two generations. They've created this business, and now they want to be able to sit there and they have value, they have sweat equity, they know what it's like to lay at night at 2 o'clock in the morning staring at the ceiling. Right. So when I'm looking at a thing like this, why did you choose this specific way? It's kind of I like it. It's kind of a harbinger, kind of a way of approach. It penetrates.
Well, there's so many issues that are embedded in a business valuation, right? I mean, first and foremost, it affects the thought of how am I going to monetize this business, right? So am I going to give it to the kids? Am I going to sell it to a third party? Or is it just a lifestyle generator? So all of these questions are embedded in that one piece of business planning. And plus, again, historically, it's been proven that if a business owner actually moves forward with a third-party business valuation, they're serious about doing other things. So it's kind of a door opener to other things that are in the industry.
I know my first reaction when I first saw this was I wanted to get my pen and paper out and start doing a business valuation, writing down the assets, the liability, and that's not what this is about.
No, and in fact, more important is what's not in the buy-sell agreement. So even though the video references the passing of a business owner, there are so many other issues that can be brought into that conversation. The disability of a business partner or the divorce of a business partner. I mean, there's so many moving parts to that.
Well, let's watch this video clip. I know what my business is worth.
Ellen, so good to see you.
Nice to see you, Jim.
Please have a seat. So, how are the kids?
They're doing well, considering. Listen, I don't want you to think I'm trying to be difficult.
Oh, Ellen, I know that.
Unfortunately, Jack didn't leave me a whole lot.
Sure.
What I do have are 3 kids and a mortgage. And when I found out what I was getting from the buy-sell agreement, I
know.
Look, there's no other way to say this. It's just unfair. I know the business is worth more than that.
Ellen, that agreement was drawn up almost 10 years ago.
So?
Well, the truth is, Jack and I just never got around to updating it. Believe it or not, that's what happened.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying that if there was more, I would give it to you. I would. But the only way for me to raise more cash would be to sell the business. And if I do that, then I'd lose everything I've worked for.
Look, I don't know anything about that. What I do know is that this business is worth more than what I'm getting in the buy-sell agreement. Listen, I'm not trying to make trouble, and I'm not saying that I don't believe you.
Good, because what I'm telling you
I
is the
just
truth.
think it would be a good idea if I spoke to an attorney. I just want what I'm entitled to.
Well, that's our show for today. Remember, you can read all my online insurance news, commentary, advisor blogs, and articles on Producer's Web, as well as my answers to consumer questions on the Insurance Library. And don't forget, you can view any of our past episodes located at downtobusiness.ashbrokerage.com, where you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, or just email steve.savant@ashbrokerage.com. And remember, you could be wiser as an Ash Brokerage advisor.